day 7 World Series of Poker here. It is Tuesday, I think June 6th. Is that right, Ryan? June 5th or 6th? 6th.
It's the 5th.
June 5th, day 7 of the World Series of Poker. Last Wednesday was the first day. It's Tuesday, June 5th, and we are on the way to the Rio. Got a good sleep. Cold is pretty much kicked, and we are feeling, I don't know, black kings into black aces on the stone bubble for a ton. Did have them covered, luckily. I kind of had a bad feeling. This guy opened, we ripped it for like 20 some bigs. I just, didn't think this player was gonna be opening too wide, but he could open queens, of course, jacks, tens. He's gonna open ace king, so one of those spots is pretty unfortunate. Then we hung around for a little bit. We went all in, didn't get called with ace jack off for like 3 blinds. Almost doubled up, then we got it in finally 8s to queens and busted. So first cash, pretty disappointing end result in the Colossus. We didn't make day 2, broke our 3-year 3-for-3 streak in the Colossus, but we did go 4-for-4 cashes. This time it took us a few entries to do it, and yeah, 1500 big blind ante. That means only the big blind antes. It does speed up the game a lot. This should be a pretty fast, action-packed event. Looks like over 1,000 entries expected. I was looking at the field from last year, so we're gonna go a couple hours late. Just needed a little sleep. Starts at 11 a.m. We got home around 3 a.m. Got to bed, so wanted to focus on sleep, get rested. Tomorrow we're starting 5 weeks of fitness with All-American Dave, so we're gonna have our full routine on track, ready to go. We do have 1 cash under our belt, and we're off to the Rio, guys. Have a great day.
You too, thank you. 82.
Had it up to 12.5, have 6K, 40 minutes of dinner break. I like our table, so let's see if we can get some chips and get it moving here. We got 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 11, 4. We just met Brad. Brad, how we doing?
Doing good, doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. That's my man right here. Just got a nice bluff through on dinner break, button open, or cutoff opened. We defended 10-6 off. It came queen 7-4. He checked, or I checked, he checked. The turn was a 4, paired the board. There's no flush draw. I led for 700 and he folded. But yeah, we start with 7,500 and we have 11,400. So almost 50% stack increase. Got here a little late today. Was late in the Colossus. Went to bed late. Just kind of needed to sleep a little bit. And pretty good structure here, hour levels. I like our table a lot and we're in a good spot. All right, guys. So dinner break. When we come back, the blinds will be 200, 400 with the 400 big blind ante. Again, this is a big blind ante only tournament. I think we're gonna see more of these in the future. Just speeds up the game so much. In the Colossus and these tournaments, like 9, 10-handed tournaments, you got 25 ante from everyone, 50 ante from everyone, 75 ante from everyone. The dealer has to make change. They have to drag the pot. Here it's just one big blind antes for everybody. It's so simple. I've been seeing this more. The Aria does this for the high rollers. Been popping up on some other tournaments. Have been sampling it. The World Series has several versions of this. So this is a $1,500 buy-in tournament. Speeds it up a lot. I think we're going to see how much it speeds up today. Should be pretty deep in the tournament. So feeling good with the 11,400. Going to the 200, 400 level with the 400 big blind ante. Let's just talk about 2 hands. So the first one, let's talk about one that went with pocket kings. So we raised to 700 from middle position. We get a player defends from the big blind. He's a capable player, definitely knows what he's doing. I've played with him before. The board comes ace, jack, 6 with 2 hearts. We have kings, no heart. Player checks, I decided check. Again, we have a very good bluff catcher here. I don't really see a lot of value in betting, like we're, gonna get called by a jack, but also if somebody has a weak ace, we're gonna lose the min. We also, it's gonna be hard for him to really value bet at any point in this hand out of position. So we decided after he checks, we check back. The turn is a innocuous 4. He checks again, and now I can maybe think about value betting the jack, but I decided to just, keep him in, maybe keep in some random bluffs. And, again, we have a pretty good hand to just check down, check back here. There is hearts out there. The river is a 10 offsuit, so, we have kings, we block king, queen. So having 2 kings is pretty nice here because king, queen is the nuts, and he decides to lead out for, he bet close to pot. I think he bet 1,500. I called relatively quickly, and he had the 7-8 off, so just 8 high. No draw, so we did get a bluff out of him. Pretty solid hand for us there. Just it's just like one of those spots. Like I don't see a ton of value in betting with our particular holding, and we did catch a nice bluff. All right, so let's talk about a hand that did not go so well for us. We were at the 100, 200 level, and a player opened pretty early position. We flatted with jacks. We had red jacks. This is one where it's close to 3-bet or flat. I'm fine, you know, flatting 10s and jacks. I think it falls into that range where, you know, you can just flat, especially on that smaller min-raise sizing. You got some deception, pot control. It's early. You know, the problem is you're turning your hand a little bit into a set mine, and you go multi-way. Sometimes it can get a little hairy. So we end up calling, and then we get a call, and the big blind calls. So now all of a sudden we are many ways to the flop. So we got the original raiser, myself. We have a flatter, so we're 5-way. If flop comes 9-9-8 rainbow, pretty good flop for us, but obviously a 9 could be present from the big blind. Even one of the later flatters getting a really good price if he has 8-9 suited, 9-10 suited, maybe just decides to call. So I like the flop, but I decide to, after I'm checked to from the original raiser, I do decide to check here. Didn't want to get check raised and just kind of proceed with caution. You could argue betting here though. Checks all the way around, and the turn is a 3. It was a rainbow flop, so 9-9-8. Turn 3 of hearts, bringing a backdoor flush draw. So now it goes check, check, and I decide I want to bet. You know, there's some money out there. I should have the best hand, and I bet 1,100. It goes fold, the late position flatter on the button, calls, big blind folds, and the original raiser folds. So now I feel okay about my hand. The problem is, like, I'm blocking a lot of the draws. I'm blocking Jack 10, I'm blocking Queen Jack, I have a heart. So like all those like drawy type hands, I have sort of one of the worst hands. 10s and jacks are really, with the heart, is almost the worst possible hand you could have for bluff catching, you know, on these rivers, because like he doesn't really have Jack 10, he doesn't really have Queen Jack, and again, he doesn't really have, you know, I block one of the Broadway hearts. So the river is a king of hearts. Now this is not a fantastic card, but like I don't think he's gonna call with King Queen, King 10 on this paired board multi-way. So like I'm not that worried about that, but it is an offsuit king. And I elect to check. He bets 4,100, which is you know, about pot-sized bet. I kind of he and haw, and I decided to call. He was new to the table. He had a lot of chips. You know, truthfully, this is one I think if you plug in, like we could just find a fold here. I just think like because of our exact hand, we block so many of the draws. I end up calling. He had pocket 3s, so he got a free flop, free turn. No bets on the flop, getting a free turn. He punished us, hit that 2-outer, hit the 3. Then just called when he made his full house, and then when I checked to him, he bet 4,100 and got a nice value bet in. Like in my mind, he has pocket 8s, pocket 3s. I guess like yeah, I could put that one in there. Obviously, it's pretty dirty, but it checked around the flop. He certainly could have it, and of course, he could have a 9x here. I don't know if he has any King X's. I don't think King X. I wasn't worried about. I guess like he could have King Queen of Hearts, King Jack of Hearts. But we had the Jack of Hearts, so like again, those are out of there. So this was one where I think just it was frustrating, but I could have just folded it because of the exact specific holding. I don't have a very good bluff catcher, and we got punished on that. So that was the one call where I think looking back at it, maybe I could have bet the flop or folded the river. And those hands matter. It's a huge 7,500 starting, 4K river call. You know, a little bit brutal of an unlucky run out, and we could have done better with that one.
All right, players, welcome back from dinner break. Coming back with a 400 ante and 200 small blind.
All right, so a pretty crazy hand happened. Player opens to 900 under the gun. We flat queens at the 400 big blind level with 16,000. He has this covered. So the big blind folds, we're heads up. Flop comes 8-4-3. I check. He announces 13,000 when he puts in 1,000 and a 500 chip. He meant to say 1,300. Floor ruled that it was 13,000. We put it in. He had Queen Jack off, so great spot for us. He was drawing close to dead, and turn brick, and we double up. We got 36 to go. All right, going on break right now. Got around 30,000, and we're sitting in really good shape. So I think late reg closes after this break. So got around 1,300 entries.
15-minute break. 15-minute break. You're going to need your name, hometown, and chip count. White copy goes to your dealer. Yellow copy goes in the bag. Here's the bag.
What again? Sorry.
Alright, we gotta count how much we bagged. Last hand of the night, small blind shove about 9,500. At 400, 800, we had ace jack off, we had queen 6 off, ace, ace, king flop, turn 8, lock it up, and good finish to the day. So we're gonna get a tally, let's see what we got. Alright, Day 2, 60 big blinds. Looks like 225 left, 196 cash, 315 grand up top. We are in the flow matrix. All right, guys, Day 2, 1,500 big blind ante. We played 10 levels. Finished with 60,300, so we got 60 bigs. We're coming back to 500 at 1,000. We will finish at the 4,000, 8,000 level. So, you know, having 200K is a good goal, 25 bigs going into Day 3. I think that's a good target to start. And we've already been looking up our players in our table. You can see here a list. I do search them on the Hendon Mob. You guys can also check that out, Hendon Mob, see our results as well. But I just basically go through, plug them in. Looks like Yanis is a very strong player, as well as Andres Klatt got some good results as well. So we were just kind of checking these guys out on the Hendon Mob. And yeah, that's the deal. We're going to the Rio. We got our workout in today. We got up early. We are fully in the zone. And I am ready to bag 200,000. Day 2, we're about 30 off the money, 224 left, 196 cash, and 315K up top. We should get down to around the final 2 tables today. I would imagine it is a 3-day event. And let's take one hand, one level at a time. Let's get our second cash this summer. Let's make a deep run. Let's flow, Flow Nation. We're in it, we're doing it. We're off to the Rio. Thanks.
Welcome to the table.
Thank you. First hand of the day though, we open with aces to 2,500. The big blind shoved 9K with 2 9s and knocked them out, clean board. So yeah, all good. All right, 207 left, 196 cash. This player opened under the gun to 3K, 500, 1K, 1,000 with like 30K I flatted, and the flop, and the big blind came along. The flop came ace, queen, I'm sorry, the flop came queen, 8, 6, 2 spades, big blind checked, original razor checked, I checked, top there. I just didn't want to get check raised. Big blind looks like a tricky player and has a lot of chips. The turn paired the 8 and brought the flush that could come in. Player let out 4K, original razor folded, I called, and the river was an offsuit 5, so possible flush there, board paired. Player leads 20K into about 18K. I tanked and I called and he had 6s full, so you know, if I got check raised in that flop, it would have got real ugly. I think I could fold on that river. I mean, he's definitely going to bluff, have some bluffs there, have the ace-x, a spade, have a blocker with the 7, so it's really close. Called, he had us in bad shape, so yeah, rough start, 45K. We're in the money. 196 left. Let's make a run. Take a look at the payouts here. It's my least favorite hand. Still is. Well, not over. Oh, daddy. It's my daddy. Good luck. The bad news is this player who won literally every hand against us, I just had 15 blinds exactly. I had 24K jammed with 2 9s, and he had ace queen off. I was like under the gun +1, he called under the gun +2. It's close. I mean, he had enough chips to afford it. You know, we're likely flipping, but like I probably am not shoving ace jack in this tournament for that. So I don't know. It's close, but he called ace queen off, us 9s, ace on the flop. I put it on the video, and good game. So one flip, and we're out.
In the night, you wake me up when the sun comes.